Greetings, dear watchers. Welcome to Top 20 Best PvP Caves on ARK Valguero Ascended, brought to you by yours truly. Let's start with number 20. So this is a little waterfall cave in the snow mountains. The coordinates are 16 and 50. Let's take a look around before we go in. It's a small cave with a big entrance and it is located right behind that waterfall. So as you can see, this cave has quite the entrance, but the inside of the cave is a little bit disappointing. There isn't much space for you to build here, and the entrance is not so easy to protect. So the entrance is big, but the inside is small. So that's why it's only gonna be number 20. Nonetheless, it is a cave. It should be better than building outside. Let's move to the next one. Number 19 is located right next to the aberration enter. Just behind this waterfall, it is an opening of a huge cave, and the coordinates are 31 and 93. So this cave has some water, and here you can place a raft. So it's not that great of a cave. The entrance is quite huge, and the inside of the cave is mid-sized, not so small, but it's gonna be very difficult to defend. These areas are not possible to place a raft, as you can see, but if you move a little bit you can place a raft around these locations. So if you build your turrets way back, they can raft rate you. If you build your turrets the entrance right about here, they're gonna need to cover a lot of areas, and that is why this cave is number 19. The next cave is actually in the aberration zone. So if you go into the aberration zone by using the waterfall entrance, you're going to be able to quickly locate the cave. Once you reach the bottom, remember these text structures, and you're just going to go like this way. This is the waterfall entrance to the aberration zone, and if you keep going this way, you're going to see at the end, you're going to see the entrance. This cave-like area has a huge entrance. So some might even say that this is not even a cave, but because of the height of this area, I decided to put this into this list. So if you go up, you're gonna see a lot of ledges that you can place your structures, even cliff platforms. There are a bunch of space here going all the way up. And because of no flies, this made the list as number 18. And the coordinates of this cave is 27 and 94. Let me go out a little bit so you can see there is more space here. It's pretty easy to locate if you know the waterfall entrance. You're just gonna need to keep going this way and you're gonna end up the entrance. It's a really big entrance, but you can try to cover this. No matter what you do, this cannot be your main base location. You can have your starter here and then move, and once you have unlimited structures and weapons, you might wanna make this your secondary base location to farm or maybe control the Valguero. I think that's how people used it. You can't make this your main base. It is not possible to defend for a long time. And that is why this cave made the list as 18. This is the waterfall cave near the beaver dams. And this area is called Tundra in general. And this waterfall cave actually has 6 entrances. All these waterfalls are separate entrances, and there is 2 more inside by water tunnels. Now this is a huge cave with huge and many entrances. You can pretty much have anything you want in this cave, but building a decent choke point won't be possible. These waters are actually tunnels all the way into the underground ocean, and this is all the place you can use if you can manage to protect it. This doesn't lead anywhere, so you are safe here. And you're gonna need to put turrets starting from here to there to be able to keep this properly defended. But a basulo might come out of here and easily soak your bullets, and if you build defenses here, behind of your cave will be defenseless. Also, the fourth entrance is all the way up there. Every single waterfall to this cave is an entrance. Unfortunately, there is even a good amount of space here, but as you can see, there is entrances all over the place, and that is why this cave is going to make the list on number 17. Now on the number 16, we have the Salt Cave, as it was called before. Now I think it's called the Crystal Cave. The coordinates are 77 and 69. Now you might be thinking this is a too high of a score for this cave, because so far all the caves I showed was requiring a lot of stuff for you to claim. But this one, the new crystal cave, even though it has a big entrance and the inside of the cave is pretty small, it is a lot easier to claim compared to other caves with many entrances. So a couple of turrets, you might get your start here, and solo or duo, you might survive here for a little bit, but because how big is the entrance, it's not gonna be your home for a long time. And this is the outside of this location. Pretty easy to spot. Find the lake, find this new huge thing, and you'll see the crystal cave right next to that. Alright, let's see number 15. Now this is the famous stronghold cave with now added more room in the back. It has quite nice defensive structures, but again, because it has only one entrance, I decided to put it that high up. The coordinates are 60.6 and 11.0. Now, you can put your turrets here or all the way back. We have this new addition. It's not that big, but it's quite nice because you have more space at the front. It can't be your permanent spot, but it could be your starter base before everything gets too hot. There are also some natural walls here because of the castle design. It can be built pretty easily with few players. Now the number 14. We got two hobbit houses side by side. Both of the hobbit caves have similar designs. As you can see, there is so much space inside, and you don't actually need to have foundations here, because for some reason these structures give you foundation support, so you can start building your thing, placing your structures the moment you get here. There's two of these. I just wanted to put them in the same list because they are pretty close. I think whoever claims that needs to claim this one as well. I think they are exactly the same size. Maybe this one is a little bit smaller. There is a lot of space here, but the defensive value is not that high. As you can see, you can put some turrets here and some turrets there, but once they are here, they can easily run this. The entrance is also not too big and not too small. Even though you can't really build a defensive, decent turret wall, the entrance is small enough to prevent any stego rushing inside. That should help with the defenses. There's a huge corridor for players to run your turrets, so you can place turrets all the way up and down. You can build a V-shaped turret wall covering this area, and way at the back you can build your base structures. On official settings, unfortunately, you can't place Industrial Forge. So that's why Hobbit holes are number 14. And the coordinates are 57 to 35. And it's located right next to these small islands. And one of them has a ruined castle now. It's right next in front of it. Also, there's a waterfall that might help you locate the hobbit houses. And if you remove the trees, this is how it is looking. The middle one is unfortunately closed off, so we have two very close decent base locations. I don't think you can live with the enemy side by side. You might want to need to claim both of them, or maybe spam one off and live in the other one. That's up to you. And now on the number 13, we have a small ice cave on the Glacier Narrows, and the entrance is kinda similar to the Hobbit holes. We're making a right and then a left, and the inside is a little bit smaller, and maybe it's exactly the same. It has pretty similar design to the Hobbit holes. Inside is not that big, defensive quality is decent, the entrance is small. It's an all around a decent starter base location. The coordinates are 14 and 60. Let's take a look around here in that area that I am pointing. The small ice cave is right over there. That is that is the blue obelisk, and that is the Wyvern Trench. Here from Wyvern Trench to there. Also, another thing for this spot is you can do some expansion. You have place to build extra fortifications, but the inside of this cave is small enough to change your mind and go look for another location after you start up and build up some resources. And we have another new cave right next to the stronghold cave. It's again on the tundra, and it's near this waterfall. There is this huge flat area. They kept this with this bridge going all the way here, but they also added a brand new cave right next to this small waterfall. This cave's entrance is also decent enough. It's not really small, and the coordinates are 49 and 9.8. The inside of the cave is not really small, but it's not that big for you to justify this entrance. Again, a decent starter spot. It could even carry you to the mid game if you build a decent third wall here. But still, this kind of entrance is gonna make you consider other caves. And that is why this cave made the list as number 12. Now, as number 11, we have a tunnel like cave on Wyvern Trench. It has quite a lot of space, but the entrance is decent sized. Also, there is two entrances. But because how long this tunnel is going, I decided to put this on number 11, and it feels like it's going forever. There is two entrances to this tunnel cave, one of them near the lava, and the other one is right on top of this natural bridge. Unfortunately, it's like you're making a circle, and unfortunately, you are turning around and ending up in the same spot, so that will not help you with turret counts. This could be a decent starter base. This also connects all the way to the outside of the Wyvern Trench. It's like a huge road that leads you at the bottom and right next to the lava. But because of the two entrances, even though it's a huge tunnel, it made the list on number 11. It's a dangerous area to live, won't be accessible easily by new players, and there are abandoned resources there. But unfortunately, there are two entrances, and the inside of the cave doesn't have a decent choke point, so that is why it made the list on number 11. For the number 10, I have found another tunnel cave with two entrances, and I decided to make it number 10 because one side has pretty small entrance and the other side opens up to area that you can fortify. Now I'm calling this cave the cave Maul Cave. This area is covered with red trees, and the lake under it is also pretty red. But it's not just that, there is a tunnel here that we can connect and build something nice. So there is this water here, and that is bad for raft raiders. They can try a raft to raid you, but if you build your turrets a little bit behind, a raft might be useless against you. And once you go inside this cave, you're gonna see that it is going on for a while. So it's another tunnel cave that you need to build based on the limitations of this tunnel. And at the end it opens to this pretty small cave entrance, but still it is double entrance. It's always dangerous to live in a base with two entrances, and the coordinates of this location is 77 and 63. Let's take a good look around. It's also right next to the crystal cave. This is the crystal cave, and this is the mall, and we have this tunnel going all the way inside this area. Now let's see the number 9. This is one of the new additions to the Valguero Ascended. The coordinates are 82 and 80. There is also two entrances. If you don't consider this huge thing an entrance, this one goes inside the cave. Also, there is another one going right. It just makes your choke point very difficult to manage, but the inside of this cave is just huge. There is almost unlimited area here that you can have pretty much everything. We have even some water here for water dinos and also getting your water easily without bothering with anything else. It's just a huge cave in the White Cliffs, but the entrance makes it pretty difficult to defend. Also, near the second entrance, if you go up, you're gonna see a rat hole like area. You might make your starting off from here, and then you might go and try to claim the whole cave. Now let's see the number 8. On the number 8, we have the jungle cave. Unfortunately, with two entrances, but one of the entrance is actually from the ceiling, so that make it a little bit stronger. If you go all the way here, and the coordinates are 58.8 and 85.2, you're gonna see a decent sized entrance. It's pretty big, like anything can enter here, but there is so much space here. And once you climb this area, you're gonna see your main place to build. You can have your main base here, but here is the second entrance. It's not easy to rate bases with entrances like this, but it means there is 2 points to attack you, snipe your dinos. But the inside is huge, and the angle of the entrances kinda make this cave a little bit better than the rest. That is why this is number 8. For the number 7, I chose a very famous and very populated spot, the Cherry Blossom Cave behind the waterfall. This is above from ground, so there is no way to walk in. Maybe you can drop down from above, and the entrance is quite big. The inside of the cave is not super large. It's a medium sized cave. Also, it's very well known, but just because it's above ground and it's not possible to just walk in, it made the list on number 7. On number 6, we are at the Green Obelisk, and the Green Obelisk cave just had a glow up. The entrance is actually not that big, but if you go inside, you're gonna see a huge cave. This is now a very large cave with a small entrance. It is almost going like a quite a while. It's a quite nice cave. Unfortunately, the height of the cave is not that much, so you can't really raise large creatures with ease here. You can still hatch them and maybe get them to maturation, but moving them around will be very difficult. But unfortunately, there is this water entrance that we can place raft. So you could get raft raided. That is a danger of this area. The entrance looks even smaller, so you might feel like the raft won't fit, but it does, as you can see. And once a raft is inside, whatever defenses you have won't make any difference. But if you can fix that problem, you can claim this huge cave and live here for quite a while. On number 5, I chose, if I wanted to live in all these caves I have showed you so far, I would choose the lava cave over them. Even though all of them have advantages and disadvantages, now this cave has a single entrance, and the entrance is not that big. Also, there are some spots that is very difficult to move past. So the coordinates of the lava cave is 32 and 51. And as you can see, that's the green obelisk, that is the snow mountains, and and that is the entrance of the aberration. And we have this decent landmark, the purple tree, and Below that, there is the lava cave's entrance. As you can see, inside of the lava cave is is not small. It is possible to walk things, but there are some areas that it gets tricky to move things around. As you can see, it's like bunch of stuff all over the place. After you move past the tunnel, you're gonna see this huge area is for you to build whatever you liked. But unfortunately, there is another entrance to this big room that is actually making this cave lose some points and drop to number 5. So as you can see, you can move all over this place, but at the end it's gonna connect to the entrance. There we go. This gate connects to the entrance, so you're gonna need to put up extra security, extra defenses, and that is making your choke point weaker. So if you build a huge turret tower here, they can just bypass this and go all the way here, but no creatures can actually fit through here. So if you can have some decent defenses behind, you might defend this cave quite a while. It's a popular spot, so it's not gonna be easy early on. Also, there is this huge area you can use if you defend the cave at another point. This room also opens up, but unfortunately you can't make this area your main base because it's not big enough, so you're gonna have to live in that area with the lava. So because of this issue, this is making the list on number 5. Now this is the infamous cave of Valguero. With the ascension, now it changed quite a bit. The coordinates of the oil cave is 47.6, 20.9. The entrance of the cave is now big, and I think it's a little bit bigger than the original. A Stegosaurus can easily walk in, even couple of them can easily walk in without a problem. The inside of the cave is again huge. You can have anything you want here, no problem. You can raise anything. You can fit a huge alpha base in this oil cave, but it is only number 4 because this huge entrance, and other than that, this natural bridge. This natural bridge devalues this cave quite a lot because once you put something like that here, you're gonna make a turret tower here pretty much pointless. All this area is now a weak point for this cave. Whoever takes over this cave is gonna need to defend this area and that area and also this area. So this just made defending this cave a lot more difficult. So that is why the entrance changes and this addition, oil cave, made the list of best caves on a Valguero Ascended on number 4. Now, as a number 3, we are seeing the new ice cave that holds the artifact. Now, this ice cave is right next to the blue obelisk. You're gonna see this little lake, and right next to that little lake, you can see the entrance of the ice cave. After the changes, I think this cave is better than the oil cave. You might disagree with me, but I decided that this is number 3. After you go through this narrow corridor, you're gonna end up seeing a gate, a natural gate that is quite small. And these structures blocking the entrance of a Stegosaurus. Now, if a stego can't go inside a place, that just increases its value quite a lot. And to everyone's surprise, small cave for the artifact of the cunning had a huge glow up. After this small entrance, you're gonna see a lot of space. Now, this is not bigger than the oil cave, of course, but The entrance and defensive capabilities affects the score of the cave list. As you can see, there is so much space, you can build multiple floors. Now, it's not just that, because we have even more space. This area is quite huge. Now I'm assuming all of these things are buildable, because on single player it's allowing me to build. Now this is doubling the size of the ice cave. I think it might even be as big as half of the oil cave. I'm not gonna say that it is the same. Oil cave is clearly bigger than this, but the defensive capability, but the difference with the entrance is very obvious. And here is the artifact. So if you can claim this cave, you have a lot of space for you to build whatever you like. You can also build some outside defenses, but it's not that great to claim the outside of this cave. Now let's see the second best cave, or Valguero Ascended. I think this brand new cave that holds the artifact of the Skylord is the second best cave of all Valguero, and the coordinates are 77.9, 90.4, and the entrance of this cave. Before we enter, let's just take a look around. We have these natural bridge, and the green obelisk is right over there. We have this huge lake. We have this huge lake with purple trees, and we have this ruined castle. And right next to that, we have this area, this huge crack that is the that shows the entrance of the new White Cliffs cave, and let's just call it the Skylord cave. The entrance of this area is quite large. It's not a small entrance, but once you keep going, you're gonna see a lot of possible choke points that you can use. Now we're seeing even more space. The entrance is again here is quite large, but now we have this huge space for us to build whatever we like and slot cap all the turrets we and reach the turret limit and build as much defenses as possible. We also have this lake inside our cave that we can use for defenses, and it is quite deep. As you can see, the water inside this cave can be its own small world. And also this lake has a tunnel going to the next room. As you can see, we can go through here. It's a long water tunnel, and we'll ended up in this special room that holds the artifact. And there's only one way to access this area, and that is through that really long water tunnel. Now that makes this cave quite powerful to defend against raider. Not that they're gonna go through a huge base location that you can fill with defenses. They're gonna have to break through here, come all the way there and set up their shop, bring their water dinos, and then go inside. If they don't have any water creatures, they are no way raiding this cave. We have also more space from the same area, but this is not really a defensive area. We can't like build a choke point there because there are two entrances. This is the memorial area that you can still have some stuff. You can build some stuff here. This is a small room, but because of this tiny entrance, it can also be used as a, but it can still be used to store things, because this is a very difficult to raid position. Like everyone need, like they need to go through this small small gateway. And if you can put turrets up there, you can block them. So at first you can claim this cave, you can claim this room, and then expand to other rooms if there is some kind of PvP happening outside. So because of this huge water tunnel, and after that it leads to another huge room that you can pretty much build anything you want. This cave made the list as the best second best PvP cave or Valguero Ascended. Now let's see the best one. You already know it. After the oil cave changes, and I think some people were already having disagreements about which cave is better. Is it the oil? Is it the spider? But with the recent changes to the oil cave, there is no doubt the spider cave now takes the spot as the best cave of Valguero. Now let's see the spider cave. This is the land entrance of the spider cave area. The coordinates are 75 and 41. After you go here, there's supposed to be a brood mother here, but it sometimes doesn't spawn on single player. You can fight that or skip that entirely and go here. Now this is the entrance of the spider cave. It is not a small entrance, but this won't be your main defensive point. After you go through here, you're gonna see that there is poison inside this cave, so it is never easy to raid this cave. It might be difficult to live here, but that also makes the job for raiders to that also increases the difficulty of the raider's job. So this is what we have. This is the entrance of the spider cave really. This area is actually a difficult area, but unfortunately this cave is not a crouch cave. You can still walk in if you just move around a little bit. But here's the thing, what kind of soakers can go through this area? There is no flyers and there is no soakers. That's why this cave is overpowered. And the inside of the cave is, you already know it, it is a huge cave. There is pretty much endless space. Also, there's another choke point here that a Stegosaurus can't fit through. You can have two different defensive locations, choke points on this cave, so it's not gonna be easy for anyone to raid this cave. There are smaller soakers, but Stego kinda sets the standard. So we have two choke points that a Stegosaurus cannot go through. We have at least two choke holes a Stegosaurus can't get through. And this is a huge area for you to build whatever you like. There are rooms and rooms on this cave. Now I would like to show something that I guess a lot of people do not know. I saw that people don't like to live in the swamp cave and the spider cave because you're gonna constantly need gas masks and they're expensive, they broke, but people fix that problem by achieving with tech armor, but before that there is another way to fix that issue. Now if I turn off GCM, I'm gonna start taking damage, and it is quite a lot of damage. Now gas mask fixes that problem. I won't take any more damage, but the durability of the gas mask is going down and it needs polymer and absorbent substrate, which is expensive. But if you wear full ghillie armor, you will decrease the damage taken quite a lot, but you'll still take damage. To fix that problem, you're gonna need to wear some scuba gear. Now with two pieces, I am still taking damage. If I use the scuba tank, that's kind of good. Like, I'm not taking damage anymore. But scuba also has durability. It's a lot cheaper than the gas mask, but it has durability. So put that ghillie chest piece back on, and your damage, you are still taking damage. But now scuba tank makes sense. You'll breathe the tank, but ARK has this glitch. If you wear the scuba leggings, something absurd happens. You'll actually stop taking any damage, and there is no durability on these items. The only issue is the flippers. They're like slow, so you're gonna have to walk around in your base like this. It's not really nice. You're just walking very slowly inside your base. If you change that to ghillie boots, you're gonna take some damage. It is minor damage, like I'm taking 2 damage every few seconds, but I can run around in the base. But if you change that to flippers, you're not gonna take any damage, and you can easily live in the spider cave or the swamp cave without needing to repair gas mask or scuba tanks. So with this awesome trick, I think there is no doubt the spider cave of Valguero is the best cave ever for everyone. And this is the list I made. All the caves I showed you, I think one is missing. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.